Jason Food, welcome. Good morning. Thank you to everyone. I don't know who is the one that froze the hearts. I don't know if it's you. But thank you for the little hearts. Can you hear me correctly, guys? That's okay. Hey, Daniel. That's okay. That's okay, Sinful. You do your things. Today it's Sunday, so relax. Relax and enjoy your day. Hello. My only 3 day. I know, my only 3 day. Yeah, I know what you mean. It passes by so quickly. Also, like, I believe when I was younger, it was like a part-time job, but it was the only job I ever had that I had like 2 days free from work. And since it was at a retail store, of course, those 2 days weren't on weekends or holidays. They were during the week. So I had free days. My free days were like all Wednesdays and Thursdays. So even though I was lucky to have 2 days like together, like pair up, um, it was in the middle of the week. So so I think that I couldn't meet up with people because normal people would be working. Um, my friends would be working in those days. So I just spent those 2 free days like running errands, um, catching up on school. It was so solitary. Like I was blessed to have 2 free days, but I was so on reverse of what other in the way other people were living their lives. Like during the weekends, they were free and I was not. So, hey, Hope. Oh, you didn't wake up at 6 a.m. Actually, I haven't slept. Oh, yeah, because you're in Mexico, right, Dania? Yeah, in my previous job, my free day was Wednesday, so I could join the streams, but not now. Oh, but that's okay. You can watch the replay later. Mm. For two. Well, we are on. I mean, you and we are in Latam, so it's like this. It is like this. Um, I don't know if it's good or bad. So I sometimes I do get a bit. I complain about my country, especially the situation is always unstable and everything. But if would I choose to be born somewhere else or to live somewhere else? I don't know. Because my country, my culture has somehow shaped my personality. So I don't know if going to another country I'm going to adapt well. I don't know if they would get me. Like, I don't know. Hey, Lizzie. Hello from GMT. It's almost 10. Oh, almost 10 p.m. 10:10. 10:10 p.m. So we have 12 hours of difference because in here it's 10 to 10, but um, a.m. 9. So we have 11 then, not 12. Friends of mine are living the US and they are enjoying a quieter life. Mm. I would want to go and visit the US. It was always a dream of mine to go to the famous places because I grew up with that. An 80s kid. So I grew up with that fantasy, um, even though my English lessons at certain places were all based on British culture, British accent, but I never catch up on that. Like I don't like I prefer watching American shows and I remember I would get my English teachers, they would be very very like like, strict with my pronunciation because I wouldn't have that like British. I guess it's like the standard English that you have to learn to pass certain tests, so they would be like, your pronunciation, your phonetics is not what we want it to be. So, you have to study hard. Like for writing exams, I would do very well. But for speech, or, you know, um, they would always reprehend me because I didn't have that strong um, British accent in my pronunciation. Also, my pronunciation um, is not English. I know, I know that. I listen to myself, so I know. Um, but I think that in comparison to probably like my classmates, I think that even though I never sounded English or maybe my pronunciation wasn't correct, but I would always be bold or courageous enough to speak in English, even with my broken English. This I noticed that there were a lot of people that had like the right pronunciation. They were amazing, but they wouldn't talk. You would ask them a question in English, and they would be like, you know, reviewing in their minds, like, what is the right word to say? And for me, it's like, no, I want to talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk in my broken English. Let's talk. Just like I did with the channel as well, guys. Like I was like, who is going to listen to my readings if I don't know. There's certain expressions, certain, adjectives, certain words that maybe I repeat myself because I don't know how to say it in English. Um, I'm very I'm more eloquent in Spanish. In Spanish, I do use a lot of fancy words. I know a lot because I read a lot, so I know I love to use like you know um, different ways of expression, different words, different um, um, meanings. But in English, I'm always like stuck with um, the same words. I'm trying to expand on that, but I've always been a bit shameless about that. I've been like, okay, I will talk. I will speak. And whoever wants to listen to me, they will join. And if they don't understand me, I know my English is not perfect, but yes, most people find it funny that we got banned for Ecuador saying they don't care, but I was going to move there like 4 years ago. I'm cursed. Oh, yeah. The good thing about for me, like about the other day I was watching. I started watching this this C drama, this Chinese drama that is a story of the palace. A story of the Jansi Palace. Um, and it had like English subs. It has English subtitles, and I'm like having the best time, watching that content in English and understanding it, what they're talking about. And you know that they're talking about, hierarchy and the royals and their status and who is who. Um, so I'm like, like for me, English is a bridge. For me, English allows me to understand things from another culture. For example, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and others like European also. So I'm like, I love it. I love it because there will always be an English option. Maybe not an Spanish option, but an English option there will be. And I'm like, that's good because I don't have to miss certain content that I'm curious. Maybe I want to watch a certain thing and oh no, it doesn't have like Spanish subtitles. And I don't have to wait. As long as there's English subtitles, I get it. That's why when I see people on my TikToks sometimes, usually on my TikToks, they are like, "Oh, please, like, oh, put like Spanish subtitles," because I know that my TikTok is probably located on even though I change it, but it's probably located in my country. So there's probably fans that are Argentinian that they are like, "What I want to know what she's saying, or like, I want to know what she's reading about. Like, I want to understand. This is my favorite group she's talking about. Um, and she's like, oh, please, Spanish subtitles. And I respond to them in Spanish. I'm like, I'm trying to incorporate I don't know how sometimes, the translation. I think I set it up correctly, but I don't know. Um, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, if you are a young fan that is watching this, or if you're in your 20s, you are still on time to learn English. I like, don't take me as an example, but please learn English. If you love your groups, or if you follow a certain celebrity or whoever you follow, and you want to enjoy content that is not just like Argentinian or Spanish, learn the language. English is not that hard, and it's going to help you in life. It's going to help you in life. I remember, like, for me, I would always insist on my parents because I wanted to go to I remember when I was very young, I started in elementary school. Initially, I went to a public school the first 2 years because it was close to my house, like it was a few blocks away from my house, so it was convenient. But then I wanted to learn. I realized that I think that my cousins, they went to a school that they had the English, they also had German in there. So I was like, I want to go to that school too because I want to have like English lessons. I want to learn English. I don't know where did I get that idea when I was like 7 years old, because there was no internet back then, guys. I want you to picture yourself that it was in the beginning of the 90s. So there wasn't much like computer. It was still, not everyone had a computer, but there were certain like bilingual schools. And I wanted to go to one. Um, And I remember that my mom changed me into this school. But then, as I got better at that, I wanted like private lessons, or I wanted to go. And even as an adult, I would take English lessons. Um, and for me, I remember there was someone, I believe it's someone from HR, that they were like, oh, but yeah, knowing English is only going to help you to get jobs at the retail or at a shopping mall. You are not going to get farther, because English, like that's the only thing that it can add to your life, that you can work at the retail store. And, and I was like, but what about communicating? What about meeting people from other cultures? What about understanding other cultures? What about reading? It doesn't have to be with the purpose of professional, like, oh, I want to climb the ladder of, um, it doesn't have to be professional, you know. But knowing English have helped me a lot of times, a lot of times, a lot of times. But I don't know if people that probably they never studied the language, they don't they don't know the use of it, but you do. Especially when you have to read certain signals, or you have to read certain products, you have to read certain labels, you have to, I don't know, pay attention to a sign, you have to pay attention to a book. If there's something in English in there, is great that you know what it says, just in case. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, it's a bridge for, yes, that helps me studying Greek. Yes, because there's almost no Spanish Greek content. See, that's great. That's great, Danya, because, I think that for me, English, because I always had to study too. And since I was young, I had like English, and also had German. And in German was a bit difficult for me because it was more complex, like the amount of syllables, and the words were so long, and it was challenging. Also, my teacher wasn't very nice, so that also, sort of like made my experience a bit like I would prefer English because my English teacher was also nice. So, for kids, that also is important, the what you remember of your teacher, or your relationship with your teacher, that also helps you learn faster, I guess. um but I think that I would always notice that between German and English, there were some words that were actually similar, were very similar. So, for example, cat in English, and in German, I believe it was Katze in English. There was like house, that in German, I believe it was Hause. Then the word ant, in German, I believe it was und, with a U. So it was very similar. But yeah, I think that the languages are also like so, like they open your mind. Once you learn a language, you want to know about the others as well. For example, that's what I noticed about K-dramas. If I leave the TV on without any subtitles, um, I know what they're saying. And maybe you are like, okay, what is the, write down the word that they're saying, like this that they mentioned. And I'm like, I don't know how to spell it. I I don't know. I don't even know if I can duplicate it in my, if I can say it aloud, but I understand what they're talking about. I can leave the TV on with the K drama and I understand what they're talking about. I understand if they're having an argument. I understand if they're talking about something meaningful, if someone died. I understand if they are looking for someone, if there's someone like confessing their love to another person, if it's like, I understand it. I know what, like the typical words that they use, that usually are, they're not that complex. It's not that complex. They usually, like, that's what I notice in K-dramas. Like there's certain words that they say that is, it repeats itself all the time. Or exclamations, maybe. Like there's words of exclamation that is like, oh, like please, don't, thank you. Those repeat themselves all the time. Greek and Spanish have similar grammar, so it would be helpful to be able to study from Spanish. Learning it from English just make it more confusing. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, guys, learn a language and never stop learning. Never stop learning. When you acquire a hobby or someone, maybe you are working with that, never stop, like, updating yourself. This is something that I say, for example, about tarot. I have been having, like, I know tarot, but sometimes I do sign up for classes. I do sign up for, now that there's a lot of content creators that they offer these workshops, and if I resonate with them and their style, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and study a few classes with them. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it because you never, it's like you never know too much. Like they can help you swift, a perception, where you're like, oh, this card means this. No, it can mean something else as well. So it's all welcome. It's all welcome. I have a German friend who speaks Spanish almost like a native. She also speaks like 6 languages from classes and internet. She's so skilled. We talk in Spanish. Oh, oh. I'm just like, sorry for not speaking your language. She's my astro twin. She was born one day before me. Oh, that's so cool. Wow, when I was studying Greek, I didn't notice the similarities, but it was Asian Greek by mistake. Oh, yeah, I'm a sucker for knowledge. I love to learn. Honestly, like, now and we are in Gemini season, so I guess this makes sense that we are talking about these things. Um, like for example, if you ask me about mathematics, like math and numbers, I have no interest. No interest. That's why all my, everything, like all my titles and everything I learned in college is all humanitarian, because I mean, if I would put my mind into this, because I don't want myself, I don't know math, I don't care. It's like I never had probably the proper teacher, or maybe, the educational system that we had with mathematics, maybe it was a bit like, outdated for me, or I got bored, or I didn't understand the person. I think that it depends. For me, it depends, it depends who teaches me. I have to, you know, I have to feel like, the person is assisting me, is helping me understand. If you are very detached, like go study this, and and you don't connect with me, I feel lost. I feel like, okay, um, oh, you're trying to learn Korean. Oh, I love it. But one thing that I must say is that, when I was a kid, I would always been very lazy when it comes to studies. I would love books. I would love to read independently. Like I would read all the time. I was actually, very a bit frustrated while growing up, because my mom and my dad, they didn't like books, so they wouldn't they I would have the same book, or the same three books, or like, children's story, and that's the only book that I would own, because my parents like wouldn't. I think that once they invested on buying an encyclopedia for me, but it was like weird. The encyclopedia, it was very old, but I was like, I want to read books. I want to read books, and they wouldn't buy it for me, because in my house, my dad was a construction worker. My mom was a like a housewife, like she was a homestay mom, and they wouldn't be very keen on reading. So they wouldn't understand, my how I wanted to read. Like I wanted to start reading at 4. Like I was so precocious in that sense, because I would just, I wouldn't know how to read yet. But if I saw pictures on the paper, or in a newspaper, I would talk to them, and I would like I would be doing as if I was reading. So I would always be so into books and everything. But the thing that I must say is that I'm the kind of person that it has to be entertaining for me. It has to be of my interest. If I'm not interested in learning certain things, I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to be lazy. It's like I'm going to postpone certain task, or I'm not going to get it finished. Like it has to come from me, it has to be, a subject, or it has to be something that I'm passionate about. Otherwise, I would be so lazy when I was young. I would wait until the last minute to finish a task. I would be like that, because it has to be of my interest. It has to be of my interest. Like I would get in literature, the subject, I would get all straight A's. But for example, in biology, I would get like C's. On the other hand, I'm a social learner. Books are good for basics, but the rest learning through interaction is the best for me. Yes, I agree, Saiful. I agree. I agree. Mm. I learned how to read at 4 after annoying everyone and copying letters I knew and asking them what did I wrote. At that point, I already knew too much. It only took one day of my mom to teach me. Yeah, yeah, my mom wouldn't teach me, because she was old when she had me, so she was a bit like, not interested. But once I started like kindergarten, I was so happy, because I got to play with other kids. That's why I understand what Saint Paul says. For me also, social. It's not like, I know there's people that they absorb knowledge, or they are like, I'm fine reading a book. Let me be. I'm in my own world. Where for me, I also have to add interaction. social interaction. It has to be like a role play. I have to be able to share this that I know with others. I cannot just leave it and just for myself. um yes. And nowadays I think that younger kids have it really easier, and it's so nice because I remember when I was very young. I used to love playing with dolls and everything. Like I was very ladylike. I cannot say like, oh, I was into sports or, no, I enjoyed playing with dolls and everything. Um, but I wanted to read. I wanted to own more books. I really and 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 I think that I remember when I turned 11, like 11 years old. When you are in the middle of when you are like still a young kid, but you're not a teenager, you're in the middle. And I had this aunt. Actually, she was like kind of my cousin, but she was older than me, so I would be like, oh, she's my aunt. Um, and I remember it was my birthday, and she got me for my birthday. I remember she got me, like, I don't know how you call those orbs that they are like they have the picture of the world, the whole world. That it has all the countries and the sea and everything. Like it's an orb. It's a circle ball that it shows all the countries. I don't know how that's called. I don't remember now. Um, and she was like, "Oh, I got you this because you're so weird. I don't know. I didn't know what to get you." And I remember that phrase, that she was like, "Oh, you're because like she was like, oh, because you read too much and you're so weird that I didn't know what to get you." So that judgment, that you're like, okay, because I like to read, I'm weird. Those things. Sometimes you do have to be careful when what you say to children, because for me, I didn't took it the like an offense. Um like an offensive phrase, but I think that sometimes it's better to not say to the child that they are weird because they have different tastes than others, or maybe a taste that you don't know of, or they have like a hobby that you have no idea what it is. You are not familiar with that, so you're like, yeah, that's my mom only teach me that after my brother was born, she lost interest on me, and she wanted to help my brother, but I was like, nah, you make him. Hmm. I wanted more books as a child, so my dad would drop me off at the library, and in a couple of years, it became my first job. Oh, Hope, that I know, I actually, this is something that I wanted to start this a technical school. It has like technical degrees. It's 3 years for to become a librarian. I don't know if that's the correct term of the subject in English, or the technical term. But I was like, I love books and I love to find things. So I was like, I'm going to. The thing was that when the signing up part started, I was already late, so I couldn't sign up um, for that in that school. But I always wanted to learn that. Like I always wanted to work at the library, always. And you have different kind of librarian. You have the one that is for public. I guess it's for public, a public librarian, and then you have a school librarian. So I would love that. Actually, it's really funny because my I remember once we were very bored with my psychologist a few years back, a few years, like a lot of years back, like 6 years ago. Um, we were bored. I don't know how, and it was like the beginning of the year with her. You know, when you're trying to catch up with your psychologist, and you're like, okay, what do we have to talk about? And I remember I was working at this place, and I was a bit stuck. I had my counseling degree, but I was a bit stuck between the work that I was doing, and not knowing how to start in my profession on my own. And we did this psychological career test, and she would ask me, like she would do, like she had the computer, of course, and with her laptop, she would ask me questions like, what are your interests? And I was like, oh, it's books, is this, is language, is this, oh, I love this. And it all worked for more the literature, knowledge, communication, teaching, teaching. The part of teaching it was, and she gave me a lot of career options. She was like, okay, like teacher, yeah, psychology, librarian was one of those, librarian. And she was like, there's careers to become a librarian. Back then, she told me, and I was like, oh, really? I didn't know. Because there's not much like big libraries in my hometown, so I didn't know that, that I thought that the people that would take care of them, they were, just people that were there, or they were helping. But I didn't know that it was like that you can study for that. And I love to classify papers. Like if you ask me, like I'm so good at putting like if you is it compartmentalization, like when you put everything in your, yes, a safe and stable job that is not taxing. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to look for more info about that, Hope. If you have info from your own experience, Hope, it will mean a lot to me if you share it with me later. Because, maybe I can, start watching certain content or something to learn about this, because I remember she told me this and it got stuck in my mind. She was like, didn't you ever think about, because I love books. So she was like, okay, where are the books at? Either you work at the library or you work at the place where they sell books. But I remember for a very short time when I was young, I would be working for an English books um, label here in my country. But then they closed, and I was just there for 3 months. But it was a brand that they would, they will have the English teaching, English courses, um, label of books, study books, listening, the CDs and everything. Ah, mm, mm, mm-hmm. What is taxing, guys? Taxing is like draining. Is it an adjective? Because I saw the word taxing, I'm like, are you talking about taxes? Like, like doing taxes? Not numbers, please. But yeah, I had worked with people. I work with people all day. I'm working at a school at the moment. So yeah, full of teenagers, full of conflict, full of drama. So yeah, I'm like, maybe I need to start like moving over to, I love my job. I really love my job. I love helping people. But there's moments where I need silence as well. I need people to stop, especially in my real life. I think that when it's about tarot, it's not a burden for me because I'm like that. I'm like, if you have an issue, I'm like, yeah, I will go and get away for me. I will go and get the tarot deck. And I love it. Um, but when it's people, um, calling me on the phone, and entering in my space and being like, I have to talk to you. And I'm like even done with what I'm doing, or if I'm seeing someone, and I'm talking to that person about a specific subject, and then, oh, there's something, a new person has a new problem, like here. And the organization is really bad. Everyone is on emergency mode when it comes to teenagers. They don't know how to deal with teenagers, and some of them are even afraid, I would say, of teenagers. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Something heavy, I see, hard to deal. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I kind of understood. Yeah, emotionally, physically expensive for the person. I'm going to add that word, taxing for my for my vocabulary. Um, oh my God, I could never do that. Bless you. I work in kindergarten. It's so loud. Yeah. Yes. Kindergartens and McDonald's, like the part of the children is so loud. Yes. Mm. But teenagers are loud as well. Yeah. I mean, they're alive. They're alive. They are in the part of your life where you're supposed to be loud. You're supposed to be expressive. If I see a child or a teenager just being quiet, I will get worried. Honestly, I will get worried. Lexicon. Lexicon. I need to write it down. Lexicon. Mm. Every time I think about teenagers, I always go back to when I was a teenager, and I think that we should all do that exercise, even though we are not going through the same. The teenagers of today is not the same as we were or we experienced teenage years. But if we go back to how difficult it was to be a teenager, um, and how absent the parents are today, I mean, parents do what they can, the parenthood it's also difficult, uh, but yeah, I think that in teenage years is where you see the relationship between the parents and the children get very, very tense. Oh, I have two teen daughters. It's complicated. Yes. Yeah, everything gets complicated. You're like, but why? If we got along, if I understood you, if I'm trying to give you everything that you need, and no, it's going to get complicated with them. It's going to get complicated. And even I noticed that even like the teenagers that are like the quiet ones or the ones that don't have any drama or maybe, they don't have a real issue themselves, they associate themselves with really problematic children. For I noticed this, there's a girl that, I'm sort of like, I'm seeing this girl because her parents are worried because she's very shy, not shy. She doesn't talk that much. She's not shy. She just talks when she wants to. She's not shy. She just, is selective. It's like she pretends to be shy, so she isolates herself, or you don't ask her questions and she doesn't want to answer. Um, so, and they were like, worried about her because, she had been like covering for a friend that, her friend does have like issues at home, is someone that went through a lot, she's a very complicated teen. So the parents are worried because, this their child is somehow, she's so close. She's best friends with this girl that has a lot of issues at home, So they are worried for the bad influence, etc. Um, but I think that it's really interesting how, sometimes maybe, the teenagers that you look at them and you're like, oh, but they have everything is cool at home. They have the greatest parents. They have a lovely home. But, somehow even those kids, they can feel chaotic inside or they want to experience chaos. It's just that maybe, they don't know how or they don't have a reason. So this is why sometimes they associate with people that have more drama than them. And they get absorbed in maybe their friends' drama. Because they need a bit of that. They need a bit of that. They need that. Mm, mm-hmm. The current one is beta. Alpha lasted till 2024. So it's complex, guys. Okay, I'm going to start reading because, oh, I'm sorry, guys, that I started ranting. It's just that usually, oh, sorry. Usually on Sundays, there's no one. the last live stream, I was all alone in here. I was all alone. Um, so yeah, now I'm happy that there's people to talk to talk to. Mm. Okay, guys. I'm going to let you know who I have, the questions that I have on my list, okay? The first question is EXO relationship with each other. This is going to be very general. I'm not going to pull each one a card because it's going to take forever. I can do a separate live stream or a video for them if you want to. Leave it in the comment section. I can do this, but today I'm going to do a very, a specific general reading for them. Then Ateez, Wooyeon, and Joseon photo shoot. They had a photo shoot that sort of contradicts, the idol image or what is expected of an idol, I guess. So how are they seen as idols? I have to check that photo shoot because I didn't check it. Then I'm going to read for Blackpink new album. I'm going to do a reading for this SM group that is Heart2hearts. Because someone has been asking me on TikTok for a very long time that they wanted a reading for Heart2hearts. I believe this is the new girl group of SM. And then, I'm going to attach later with the reading. Someone asked if SM is going to promote them more than Espa, because usually SM has this, when they launch like a new group, usually the other one loses, SM is very disbalanced in that sense, but let's see. Then there's another question that it says, how Korean drama and film scripts are being distributed among actors? Are they chosen by an audition or selectively? Let's see if the cards can answer that. It's very wide, but let's see what I got. Does SM have planned for a Western girl group because they debuted their Alice, that is this Western boy group. So yeah, the question was if SM has plans to launch like a girl group version as well. Then I'm going to read for Wavy relationship with SM, and then if Wavy will see a rise in their success in China. Today, Ateez preview of the app can wait. Ah, okay. Okay, EXO relationship with each other, how it is these days. Okay. Can you see the parties? Okay, for EXO relationship with each other, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the King of Swords, Eight of Swords, and we have the Star. I think that there's an opening in communication. Probably there's someone, because I have the King of Swords here, so there's someone that is somehow appearing, among all the members. There's someone that is like, okay, like somehow offering, like coming with a white flag, being like, hello, let's, very lovely, but also very assertive. The King of Swords is also like very, um, is is very formal, is very knowledgeable, is very studious, is someone that is very logical. So there's like the need for truth and clarity in EXO's communication, because next to the King of Swords is the Eight of Swords. So there's certain limited beliefs. There's a lot of things in the relationship that they need to be solved. Probably there has to be more communication. There has to be like very serious communication, um, conversations, getting together. If they have to review certain documents, from a more like legal side, they have to get together. But I think that definitely this all is going to be more beneficial for the group if this person is the one that leads the conversation or reunites all of them. This could be the leader, this could be Suho, because I think that if he's the only one, with the Knight of Cups, he's the only one that could actually and be like, okay, guys, like let's get together, let's talk about this. Things had been a bit cold between the members. I think that there's a bit of division, and also there's a bit of very uncomfortable, like, it's I don't think that things are bad, but there's certain silences or certain, omit of like, oh, I will not mention this. They already know this. I said this, but I don't know if they know. Or, or, oh, this person hasn't reached out in months, so I guess, they're okay doing their thing. So there's a lot of like misconception, there's a lot of misunderstandings as well. And there's this with the Eight of Swords, there's something about like, okay, yeah, I don't know, I don't care. There's like, oh, this is the last that I heard of them. I just remember that. So I think that the group needs to be much more open to each other. If there's some offenses or if there's some misunderstandings or disagreements, they have to talk about it. They have to talk about it. I think that it's time. It's time because there's something about them probably trying to avoid this. Or maybe there's certain very prideful members that they're like, oh, I just, sorry, I prefer to stay here, to stay offended or to stay stuck instead of, accepting that maybe I also mess up. So I think that this king of swords is someone that is going to cut the ties or is going to cut the confusion, is going to cut the misunderstandings. It's like, guys, can we please, stop this? Can we please stop this? Let's, get rid of this. There's uncomfortableness between certain people. There's something about like them not saying it to each other's face, but I think that silence and sort of avoiding each other makes things more awkward. So there's something about like, let's end this because this is only keeping us sort of a slave to our own perceptions. There's something about like, I don't know if it's gossip or I don't know if the other person misunderstood or I don't know if the other person didn't express well, but there's something about like, oh, I heard what you said of me, or I heard this that you said, and I didn't like it. So I stopped talking to you. Or oh, I didn't like the way you behaved that day. So, this is why I'm not seeing you, or if you're here, or if I know that you're going to be there, I'm not going to appear, sort of avoiding each other. But in that avoidance, there's something that sort of reveals, speaks louder than words, but I think that it's all gossip. It's not gossip. It's, oh, I thought that this meant this, or I thought that you did this because you wanted to do this. So, there's susceptibility. It's not emotional. I don't think that it's like, oh, you said something that it hurt my feelings. Like, oh, I feel sad. No, it's more like information. It's more like information, gossip. They said, I said, something like this. And with the start card, as the last card, we have the card of rejuvenation. So there's something that is, very important for them, that the star card is like, guys, remember who you are. You are stars. So you cannot have these limitations in communication. You have to be smarter. You have to be more intelligent. You have to be open to dialogue, even when things get weird. This cannot happen with a group that has like this star quality. This disunion is not, it cannot continue like this. It has to be rejuvenated. Your bond has to be rejuvenated. There has to be a new solution, a new way to get along, a new way to understand each other's point of view without, getting all susceptible. Or, oh, I thought, I saw that you acted like this and my perception was that you were this. No. So, yeah, I think that there could be with this person, opening dialogue, there could be a rejuvenation, there could be a new start, there could be, oh, my hair got stuck in here. Um, there could be a new beginning, a new way, but yeah, things were awkward. Things are awkward. Not among everyone, but there's like this silence, like, Okay. Ateez, Woo Young, and Joseon photo shoot contradict their idol image. How are they seen as idols? See about this photo shoot and how are they seen as idols? Oh, they're seen positively. They're seen positively. Like they're seen like the guys are working. They are seen like this is part of their work, or this is part of their evolution, or this is part of their plan to, slowly maybe introducing this, like someone said, maybe this photo shoot that contradicts, what is expected of an idol, or that is very different, or that is not very idol image like. I think that they are seen as idols that are put in the work. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So it's about someone that already has like the experience, the individuality, the independence. We have the Four of Swords. So there's like this come down of anxiety, like we are not overthinking things that we do. We are not doing things, to just be like, oh, this is going to impact people. But also the audience is not, the Knight of Pentacles, the audience is like, they're working. So, I don't know if they got backlash or something, but I don't see that netizens are eager to say something negative, because we have also the page of cups that the keyboard says play. So somehow, people, or how they're seen as idols is that they are very playful, that they're working, but they are also, playing with their image, or they are also, trying to insert a new concept. But I think that they see Ateez as this group that has like the independency, or they have like the autonomy to do whatever they want. And also, I don't know, people don't have much perception on Ateez. The Four of Swords, is giving me like, oh, we're giving them a break because, they're working. So, we have nothing against their productivity. And also, the guys keep, playing, seducing, being charming. So there's something about them not wanting to interrupt Ateez flow of work, because they also see, Ateez as people that maybe, they see that whatever Ateez does, they have a purpose. They have like an objective, that they are very disciplined people. So they're like, yeah, it's expected. They could do this. Uh, but honestly, there's not much, like, there's not like an opinion except like, oh, they're so hardworking. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, guys, play, be creative. Yeah. But I think that the audience is not that, or other idols, they also respect them, but it's like, they start with the Nine of Pentacles, so they have a sort of independency, that somehow people cannot question what they do, because they're like, the guys are so hardworking that we cannot criticize or have a formal opinion about what they're doing, because they're working. So, we don't have anything to say. We don't want to say anything either, you know. So they also say it, like, it's playful. It's not like, oh, they're doing something. No, it's just them being young, being trying to be seductive maybe, or trying to be romantic. Um, no. No, they don't have anything, no, on the boards. They're not dependent also. The Four of Swords is giving me like, oh, they had a photo shoot? We don't know. if Koreans and Korean artists have a better opinion and are more favorable to ATs. You know, with the cards that I got, I think that they are like, they respect them. They, of course, they will not get in the way of ATs. They are like, you know, we cannot compete with them. It's not like they are afraid of them. It's just that they let ATs work their magic. But I don't know if it's because ATs has like they win, maybe because they have an independent fan base elsewhere, or they have like autonomy. So it's like also they don't depend so much from the Koreans, and they know it. There's something about like, yeah, it's us. So, you know, if Koreans don't think the best of us, if our people don't acknowledge us, but there's other people that do. So as long as we have other people, we are going to be recognized, and they are recognized with the Nine of Pentacles. Is definitely, it shows that they are another people's favorite. They are probably the Western audience favorite, and they're like, you know, with that we are sort of winning. Even though we wish they would also see it, you know, the Korean audience, or Korean society, or Korean, but they are like, you know, we also don't have to beg anyone, because somehow we have been doing very well. This is why they keep working. They keep being productive. It's just that there's a group that never stops working. So, you know, this is why they don't mess with ATs. Probably they don't understand much about ATs concept or something like this, and they don't care. So they are not getting, and I think that that's a blessing, because they, as long as they don't care, as long as they keep asleep, the better, because the less drama. But yeah, I can pull some cards. If Koreans and Korean artists have a better opinion, a more favorable of ATs. I mean, they still got the Knight of Pentacles, so they're not that impressed with ATs. Korean people, Korean people, artists. We have the Hangman, we have the Knight of Pentacles again, and the Ace of Swords, and we have the Six of Cups, memories. So what do they feel like? The perception that they have of ATs is very old. Like maybe they remember ATs from a very specific moment or performance. They're like, oh, they are the guys that they had this amazing performance, but that's that. Yeah, you were amazing in that, but it's always that memory. It's not like very updated. Um, yeah, with the Hangman and the Knight of Pentacles, there's a resistance to get into ATs. Sometimes they do check every once in a while to see what they're up to, but there's not much interest in ATs. Something is holding them back to get into ATs or give ATs the recognition. With the Hangman, I think that they're very close-minded. The Knight of Pentacles is also very slow. So maybe, you know, they could at some point, you know, with the Ace of Swords, there could be an opening of them commenting something online, or just watching a video and give it a like. But it's very slow. I think that it is not going to add to AT's popularity or AT's It's not going to add in numbers. They are not working. If they have a fandom in there, the fandom is very slow. It's not working very fast. They do have limitations. I wonder why, because the internet, they have it. You know, the Ace of Swords is giving me like, you have the resources. You have seen ATs. Like, there's no way that you can be like, oh, I don't know that group. I didn't see them. But they are like, yeah, I don't know what, but I don't like that group. There's something about AT's concept that Koreans don't like. They're like, yeah, I was about to get into that group, but then I stopped and I focused on another group. They don't like ATs. They don't resonate. It's not their style. It's not their style. Yeah, Six of Cups memories. Yeah, I do. They could have a perception of ATs being like, oh, you know, that guys that had that very memorable performance or exchange with these people, famous people probably. But it's more like, yeah, I remember you, but not so much like there's respect. Definitely they respect them, but I think that there's like something is off here. That they are like, I don't understand it is. I don't understand their concept. It's weird. Could it be something religious? That they think that the 80s, because the handman, you know, the handman is like when you take a pause and somehow in that very uncomfortable pause you find enlightenment. But for me, it's more like their ability to be enlightened or to be much more aware of, you know, certain concepts, styles. I don't know. People are stuck when it comes to 80s. They are like, what is that? Is that from the devil? Something like this. So I wonder what they think about 80s concept. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that and probably if they mention it in some kind of, you know, program or in some kind of like award shows or in some kind of like people talk about it, they always bring that thing that happened like 5 years ago. It's very outdated. It's very outdated. It's not, they don't even know what it is doing these days. They don't even know. Mafia coded. Maybe that's why they're like, I don't know. They have a sort of a prejudice. There's prejudice in there. Yeah. There's a prejudice in there, definitely. Like, I don't know why the first thing I saw when this is why when I saw the Handman and the Knight of Pentacles, the first thing that came to my mind was narrow-minded. Narrow-minded. This is the first perception that I got. It's not in the cards. It came from my perception. They probably are fixated on the same, they like certain concepts or they like a certain group or they like the group to be a certain thing that they don't want to change. I know that Lizzie asked for Wongu military update. If he's in the military, I cannot read for him. I believe I read for him before he enlisted. If he is in the military at the moment, I cannot pull cards for him. I don't read for idols that are in the military. Okay, I'm going to continue with Blackpink new album. Okay, for Blackpink new album, we have 10 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and we have the Page of Wands, Exploration. It's going to, how can I say this? It's going to bring happiness to the community, maybe to the fans, maybe to the girls themselves, you know, being reunited, being together in a group. Definitely there's like an emotional, there's something about coming home, you know, being together, being part of a community, you know. I think that Blackpink having an album is emotionally, you know, it's like, okay, I will do it because I have an emotional attachment to this community, to my fans, to our fans, to everyone together, the family that we are. You know, there's something about them, you know, for that reason, there's happiness. But also with the 4 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands at the end. It's going to bring happiness to the community. I think that a lot of people are waiting for this, so it's going to be happy nevertheless. I see that the work is going to get done, but probably it's going to be more of the same. The 4 of Pentacles is giving me stagnation. The same formula, the same song, the same concept, the same. It could be that the album has 4 songs, or is very similar to something that happened 4 years ago. But I think that the struggles are going to come with this. That the 10 of Wands at the end is like, you know, is still so complicated and so exhausting to work under these conditions. They probably do it because of the emotional connection and the community and the love that they have for themselves, you know, for the group, for the name of the group. You know, there's a lot of emotionality in here. But when it comes to results, when it comes to, you know, like, are they going to bring something new that is going to be, you know, like something that you never seen before? No. No. They're going, I think that there's something about the girls also, you know, like, you know, when you arrive to a place and you're getting ready to work and you're like, oh, I'm so excited, you know, they're so happy, they're like, oh yeah, we're finally together, we're going to do this. Okay, there's also a lot of tiredness. The girls are exhausted. They are exhausted, but they also are exhausted of the same formula. We have the 4 of Pentacles, so there's something about like, there's nothing new. But probably with the 4 of Pentacles, there's something about like, okay, it's not new, but it's ours. It's the group's identity. Is what we have. Is what they are giving us. So it's going to be challenging. With the 10 of Wands, it's like, again, I have to make this work. You know, they always make it difficult for the girls to fulfill this, because I think that the girls are also like, this, that is what they're known for. Like, not them, it probably the company. You know, it's their style. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. So there's, you know, the girls feel the weight on their shoulders to try to animate the party and be like, yeah, guys, you know, we're happy to do this, and they're trying to get the emotional part of like, well, the fans are waiting. Everyone is waiting for Blackpink. You know, whether you like Blackpink or not, you know, they have their whole community. They have everyone watching. People love them. They may not like even K-pop, but they love Blackpink. So for them, it's like coming home. For them, it's like a very emotional moment. But it's going to probably, you know, it's going to be challenging to give, you know, a bit of, you know, originality or a bit of attitude to this that they are the material that they're going to have to work with. But yeah, we have the page of ones that it says exploration. So could it be that they're going to do a tour together to another countries? Because it's also giving me like a fresh new beginning. Exploration is like, let's go other places. Let's bring this to, you know, the fans overseas maybe, or let's do a fan sign, or let's move, let's move. I see the girls that they're like, you know, let's bring the passion because, you know, this is so, let's bring, you know, and also they are so tired, you know, with the 10 of wands, going back to that place is draining their energy, definitely. You know, it's like when you have to go back to see your ex or something like this, it feels very like, oh, I was so happy, but then I saw you and my energy is like lowered. And the girls are going to try to put an attitude, you know, to bring the happy vibes, you know, the page exploration. They probably also going to try to, you know, maybe reach out to different people from around the world to promote them, or to, you know, to maybe if they have like these foreigner friends, or if they have these fandoms overseas, they are going to be like, okay, let's go and meet these people. Let's get out of here. Let's, because it's tough, but the girls are going to make it work, definitely. But maybe, you know, with the 10 of wands, there could be that you are going to see some girls tired, more tired than the others. Um, the page of wands also is giving me Lisa energy. Lisa probably is going to be the one that is going to move the most, or is going to try to reach out to her people, or to her maybe try to bring, you know, a funny challenge, or try to bring some, you know, activities or some way of promoting this, you know, like let's explore our options, because I don't see the company doing much. I think that the company is like, you know, we gave this and that's it. They are not moving their strategy, not at all. So this is why it feels like a burden for the girls to like, okay, we have to move ourselves. uh, their full albums have 8 songs, and they're always a copy of the previous one. So if it's yeah, probably 4. Yeah, number 4 is very important. I don't know why. I know there are 4, but I know there are 4 members, but yeah. Also, there was someone spamming my comment section that it was this person like asking for Lisa and Jenny reading, because initially it was like for friendship reading, and then they were like, no, not friendship, like a romantic one. How do they feel for each other? Like, are you insane? Like, I think that also there's something about like, this is why I refuse to sometimes read for, and I'm going to make a stop also. I'm going to stop reading for you know, Blackpink and Espa for a while, because people sometimes they love to pin certain members against each other's. Maybe this is like the solo stance, but they always have these two that is like, oh, because I love them and I want to see if they're friends. No, you want to see if there's rivalry. They have their own vision, you know, that, oh, you know, they don't like each other, or one is better than the other. This is the mentality of a solo star, of course. So they want the cards to be like, oh, you know, there's something going on here. You know, people are so toxic. They are so toxic. And I hate it when they try to get, you know, a tarot reading involved to sort of confirm how biased they are. You know, no one is like the good guy or the bad guy in a situation. There's always two sides, always, always. And this is a work relationship, first of all. So yeah, I think that people should stop. You know, just let the girls be. Just stop. Okay. I'm going to read for Heart2hearts. Is it like this? Is it performed like this? Is it not performed like this? Is it pronounced like this? Heart2heart. It's a new SM group. Heart2heart. Let's see for them. Mm. Okay, okay. Let's begin for Heart2heart. We start with the Ace of Swords. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the middle, the Tower, Six of Pentacles. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, practicality. Yeah, practicality. So definitely, I think that the girls are amazing. I like it. But I think that also, you know, when the girls, the other day I also got, when we were reading for certain friendships, and I also got the King of Wands, no, the King of Pentacles, you know, somehow, you know, talking about maturity, practicality, you know, efforts. And I think that there's something about this group that also, you know, probably invites people, if you are supporting this group, you know, invites people to be more mature about Heart2hearts. You know, there's something about, you know, the girls putting the effort, definitely, it seems like they're going to do very well. But with the Queen of Pentacles, I think that, you know, people should focus more on the practical part of their performances or what they are delivering, you know, what they are doing, instead of, you know, trying to see everything emotionally. You know, I think that if you're going to support this group, you know, do it because you love their work ethic, or you love how hardworking they are, or you love how much effort they're putting. Don't do it if you have another, you know, if you're looking to compare and contrast, you know, I think that this group is for more mature people. And I know that this group is young. I know that this group is young, and I believe it's just debuted. But there's something about them. They are giving me the vibe of Rise. Remember that I said like Rise was like this old school, this very earth kind of group, you know, very stable. Like, okay, we are going to keep delivering. You know, probably our start is going to be very slow, or it's going to be, you know, like we are working towards our objective. You know, we're trying, we're improving, we are working on this. And I think that the girls, it feels the same, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles, like practicality. There's still a lot of work to do in this group, and they are going to work towards this. I think that it's very funny that they have this, the group is named Heart2heart, because I don't see hurt, like, I know that I don't see emotions in here. You know, I think that the girls are very competitive. They remind me of the Queen of Pentacles. You know, I think that they are very mature people. that they are probably very productive. So if you're not the kind of audience that is able to appreciate the amount of effort and how great they're doing, then probably, you are here for the wrong reasons. Because these people don't need, drama to become relevant, or they don't need, for fans to start wars at each other. They don't need that. They need you to trust them and their process, and that they have what it takes to become, better, better, and better, to be the professionals that they were trained to be. So you have to give them room and time for them to show you with action, with efforts, in a very practical way, like the Queen of Pentacles, that is like practicality, with practical methods, with my presence, with my hard work, with my, with my training. I'm going to show you that I can be better and better and better. So let me season, let this girl season. I sense a lot of, earth element in here. With the Ace of Swords and the Six of Wands, I don't know how this group was made, but definitely, they were like promoted, or they were like somehow, it was like, it was communicated that did they win a survival show? Did they win a competition or something like this? Because with the Ace of Swords and the Six of Wands, it's like they started the year like, winning something, or appearing like a winning, winners, like, oh, we came to conquer, or, we were the best trainees, or we were the best in this, and they present us like this, their how they started 2025. It was, I don't know if they gone viral or something like this, but it feels like the girls definitely have this reputation of being really good, of having a lot of potential, and probably they are very, very proud. They are very proud of themselves. And they have a lot of potential. This is why I'm like, people just, don't make your assumptions on Heart2hearts now. Let them season, because they have so much potential. It's just that it depends on the company. And in here is SM. What can I tell you? Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles in the middle. So I think that in their present and in the probably the near future, they are doing very well. I don't know if it's numbers, because since I'm talking about practicality, I'm like, are they doing well with numbers? Are they, becoming this very stable force of success? Are they getting good feedback? Because I see success. There's a lot of potential in this group. This group can be long lasting. This group can be long lasting. This group has the potential. I don't know who the members are. I don't know the group, but they are very mature, and they are very talented. They have plenty for you to choose from. And they are doing very well. It's just that this is the problem. The Tower and the Six of Pentacles. So it's the same. It's the same. And I think that there's something about giving and receiving here that is not going to be very beneficial for the group. I don't know if it's because SM somehow decided that they are not going to give them or keep giving them the promotion that they are giving them initially, or that they are giving it now. There's going to be an interruption. There's going to be an abrupt change in the way they are managing these girls. And they used to be fair in the past, or now they are being fair with them. Probably they are taking care of them, or they are giving them what they need, when it comes to resources. But then in the near future, I see that something changes. Something changes. Something drops. And they're like, oh, what we were giving you, we're not giving you anymore. At least not for now. So I don't know if they're changing plans. I don't know if they're changing a strategy. I don't know if they're going to focus in another group. I don't know what, because it's SM, guys. It's SM. And in the tower, I see SM doing. It's SM doing. It's not the girls. It's not the girls. The girls are the Queen of Pentacles. So, also, I think that this also probably is like the the overall feeling in this reading is like, you also have to be consistent with this group. You have to wait for them, or you have to hope for the best for them, or, be loyal, because probably there's going to be an interruption of, not an interruption of work. Probably, now they are putting them on a pedestal, but then eventually they're going to change. I don't know why, but they're going to change. Something there's going to be an incident, something is going to happen that it has nothing to do with the girls, but they're going to be like, oh, I cannot give you what I've been giving you. So yeah. But yeah, with the Queen of Pentacles, practicality is like, if you are fans of them, keep supporting them. Don't take it personal. Potential of the girls is in there, so they're not going to go to waste. The girls are very intelligent. They also probably are very hardworking. They don't mind to wait. So, it's not like they are feeling stressed or they are feeling bad. No, they know they have a lot of potential. They have a lot of, a lot of talent. So they are like, okay, if there's an interruption, we will wait. We will wait. Like there's not a worry in their minds. It's just that, with the Ace of Pentacles in the middle, this group is going to do amazing. It's just that, it depends on the company. It depends on the company. It depends on the company. Then after this, after this, there was a question that someone left about these girls in Espa. I'm going to read it here. It says, is SM going to promote more Heart2hearts than Espa? I don't know. I think that I just answered their question with the cards that I just read for Heart2hearts. But let's see, is SM going to promote more Heart2hearts than Espa? Let's see, Heart2hearts and Espa. No, I think that they're both different groups. And also, I think that, when I read this question and I appreciate you guys' recommendation, but I think that, we should do the exercise also. I had read for Espa. I have a reading for 2025 in the live stream for Espa. So if you want to go and rewatch that reading for Espa, it will help me a lot because I read for them for this year. So I already said what I had to say for Espa in this year. I read for Karina's incident last week. So, but I think that it's very interesting because I also read for Espa. And this is why I'm like, this is going to be the last reading that I'm going to do for Espa related because I don't want to repeat myself. I do have other readings, so you guys should try to go and find those readings because otherwise I feel like we are all running in circles about the same situation and it's not productive for me. I did say when I read for Espa in the same relationship, I did mention something about, prosperity, abundance, that they would always be, putting a lot of money on Espa because Espa is like, I don't know if it's the face of SM. I don't know if it's like that one project that somehow promotes SM or it's like they're never going to, throw Espa in a on a dungeon or just like, I think that even if they do, they're going to keep promoting members, their videos. It's like you cannot take SM away from Espa because it's like they come together. So I don't think that this group, Heart2hearts, that just started, can be compared to Espa. I know that SM is known for doing this, that every time they debut a new group, they forget about the other one. So I understand. But we're talking about Espa here. At least this is what I get energetically. There's no comparison. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of mixture, what kind of, recipe they did for Espa that is like, Espa is like promoted differently. Even if a member is in hiatus, or even if things, like I see here, things are not doing very well for Espa image, but it's like Espa is like bigger. It's not so much like how many comebacks do you have. It's more like how popular they are, or how people appreciate them no matter what. And you cannot compare them to a group that just started. You know, um, from SM, from not SM, but this question is SM going to promote more Heart2hearts than Espa? I don't think so, because from the perspective of the treatment towards Heart2hearts, we have the Hermit and we have the Four of Wands. And from Espa, we have the Five of Swords and we have the Eight of Wands. So there, Espa. If you go and watch my 2025 reading for Espa, I did say that they have to defend themselves a lot this year. That's what I said, that they have to defend themselves a lot. Go and rewatch that reading. And in the middle, we have the Nine of Pentacles, abundance, independency. The Knight of Pentacles is like both of these groups are independent, and probably their budget is also independent. Espa's budget is saved somewhere else. And the budgets for the new girl groups, new boy groups, new things to come is elsewhere, sorry. And there's abundance. So, no one is going to fight for the other, at least not these girl groups. I don't know, maybe the boy groups, probably, but the girl groups, no, there's money saved. For Heart2hearts, see, this is very similar for what I saw, this tower, this interruption of give and receive, it's like I was giving you a lot, or I was paying attention to you, and all of a sudden something is going to happen that is more important, and I have to take care of this. So probably, I don't think that it's a hiatus, but there's silence, or there's like, oh, girls, wait for a bit. Just go and do your things, because we have the Hermit, and we also have like the Four of Wands. So there's something about, them probably, maybe they want to exclude the girls for certain promotions in the near future, because they want to prevent the girls from getting to drama, or if there's a scandal if there's like a bad administration from their part. They want to secure the girls. They want to protect the girls. With the Hermit, it's like, girls, go and rest, and also with the Four of Wands, it's like, I think that they don't want to ruin that probably the girls' spirit, or the girls', attitude, or maybe their work is very cheerful, or is going through a very, very good time. Maybe the girls are, I don't know, their songs or their style is very cheerful, it's very happy, and it's very optimistic, and it's fun. So there's something with the Hermit, like, I don't know if they want to protect the girls from drama, or if they want to, there's something going on. So with the Hermit, it's like, we will not tell, but probably, we will, put the girls to a side, or we will not expose them. We will not make them go to certain festivals or certain events, because we are protecting them. But there's something, like I mentioned, Heart2hearts members, they will not see like a change in their lives, or in their productivity. Actually, they are being entertained. I don't know if they're having a lot of fun, or if they're having a lot of fun being together, and they are friends, and they are also being given activities that maybe are more private, there's something about them wanting the girls to get off the internet as well. With the hermit, it's like, maybe if they release content for the girls, it's going to be only for the fans, or it's going to be only on their specific platform, that if you're a fan and you can pay, you get access to this. But there's something about them protecting the girls, putting the girls in four walls, but it's going to be so fun, and focus on them, and focus on them having fun and just being themselves without being surrounded by other people. They are protecting the girls. I don't know why. Um, and from Espa, Seven of Swords and Eight of Wands. So something is going on with Espa. They are protecting Espa, I would say. SM. I don't think that it's like, oh, SM is going to put more money on Espa, but I think that they are, I don't know, are they going to release a statement about Espa? Because with the Five of Swords, it's like, they are, the Five of Swords I also got, when I read for Karina and her relationship with the others, that she also was a bit upset, she also was a bit like, a bit not so happy, trying to, just being angry at herself, but maybe, maybe people are talking or sending her messages, and she's like, she's a bit fed up of this. But I think that when it comes to the group, they're going to work very fast. I don't know if it's preventing the girls from malicious comment, or there's something about the company is definitely, it's going to release news very soon. It's going to release news very soon to sort of defeat the malicious comments or the haters, or there's someone that maybe is like bothering the girls. So there's something about them throwing, they're going to do something. I don't know how that is going to, somehow maybe to protect the girls, but it's going to be very fast, because yeah, maybe people are being awful to the girls, and they're like, okay, we have to communicate this now. But yeah, the Nine of Pentacles, abundance. There's plenty of abundance for both of them. So there's not like I said, there's not like one is privileged and the other is not, or one is going to steal the spotlight of the other. No. Hey, Catalina. The crown is like a recognition badge, Chatalino. The more you interact in the chat, the more it puts you on a ranking. The more comments you put, they are going to get a crown. People are not happy about the next title track being called Dirty Work, so they receive a lot of backlash about it. Yeah, it's going to be a tough year for them. Like, they are going to be okay, guys. Like, this is the thing. They're going to be okay. Don't get emotional about it. But it's going to be uncomfortable, and probably it's going to be, one incident after the other, and then when you think it is over, it's going to happen something else. Like, there's hostility in the air, and well. Hey, Diana. Thank you for being here. I don't have makeup. I don't have makeup. It's just that the heater is hitting my face, so probably you see me that I'm a bit red because I do have rosacea. So this, it doesn't show that much. It's here. And no, I don't want to make like an ads for Nivea, but this is what I use. But thank you so much for the compliments. My hair is so messy because I did wash it yesterday. So because it's so cold, like and now my ceiling is leaking. So if you see like there's something like they did this, it's my ceiling. It's not finished yet. Okay, I'm going to continue with the next question, that is, how Korean drama and film scripts are being distributed among actors? Going to start again. How Korean drama and film scripts are being distributed among actors? Are they chosen by an audition or selectively? And I think that this question is referring more like who gets the script, you know, like, okay, are they like the important or maybe the more influential scripts that you're like, oh, this is going to be a hit, like are they, do they select who is going to get it? Like, oh, I think that we should give it to this actor or this actress, or is it, you know, decided through an audition? Yeah, keep keep talking, totally. Keep messaging. Okay, let's see how Korean drama and film scripts are being, how the scripts are being distributed among actors. Are they chosen by an audition or selectively? Let's see. Are they chosen by an audition or selectively? Mm, okay, we have the strengths card, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Fool card, and we have the Queen of the Queen of Swords, perceptive. They do hold on very tight to their scripts. You know, with the strength card, there's something about them, you know, probably being tempted. Maybe there's people that know that they have these new scripts, you know, and people are like, you know, what are those scripts about? You know, what is it that you have? Do you have any news? You know, people wanting to know, definitely. But um, with the strength card, I think that they are like, let's be patient. Let's be patient. I think that they were tempted in the past to give it to certain people. Or maybe, you know, there were certain companies pushing it. And this year is very different, or they are trying to change their ways. With the Knight of Cups and the Fool, definitely, I think that they are trying to, you know, they are trying to choose for audition. They are trying to choose for audition. They definitely they are trying to, I think that they are trying to go for the most original ones, like the actors, or maybe there's something about, you know, them seeing that the actor has the potential, even if they're working in something else. There's something that they do appreciate the most is when the actor is able to, you know, start from zero, or maybe they take roles that are very different from the ones that they are known for, or if they're working on a specific role at the moment, you know, and they choose something totally different. They love the ones that risk, that take the risk. So they probably also are like, you know, we're going to offer this first to the risk takers, you know, to that sort of actor that it, I don't know, I don't want to say crazy, but there's something about these actors being peculiar in the way they behave or in their body language, that it feels so extravagant, so different, and they are like, this is the person that we want, this is the person that we want for our roles. So they are like, you know, the first 100 scripts, they are offered to these people, to the one actors or actresses that are a bit like, you're like, oh, they are so different. Or every time they play a role, or they audition, or they read the script, they give it a twist that you're like, I never seen that before. Like they change, their body language change. It's like they get possessed by another person, and it's like so amazing to see that you probably are like, I never thought that this person, this actor, had the ability to literally become someone else, like a shapeshifter. So they're like, this is the people that we want to give our scripts to. They are our priority. This is why they hold on very tight to the people that has this ability. Um, and they love actors that are so, I don't know why I want to say quirky. Quirky is the word. Is it quirky? That they are so odd, but they are so talented. Like I see, like if you see the full, see, like this is a person that is just natural. Is a natural actor. Is someone that is totally different. Now, this is the thing. In this question, this person that submitted the question, they were asking about how they deliver or how they decide who to give the script to. But that doesn't mean that the person that they offer it to is going to accept. I think that they have an envision, they have like, oh, this actor will do it very well, but eventually maybe this person is like, yeah, I cannot do it. So they drop the project and they have to choose for a replacement. So, like I said, like, oh, it's audition, oh, it's audition. But I think that they have a preference because it can be that in their minds they are like, a bit selective because, this person is like, is it chosen by audition or selectively? I think that they all audition or they all do a test. But there's something about them, yeah, reading the script, everything was great. They're like, this is the person, but then they drop it. They're like, because the fool is like it's so free, it's so unexpected that maybe the person did show up for an audition, they did read the script and they were chosen and they were amazing. And then they are like, yeah, I don't have time because, I'm going to go traveling over there and I'm taking a time off and I'm doing something else. I will not do it. So they have to go and find someone else. Um, with the Queen of Swords, the keyword of perceptive. This is why I see a queen of swords is giving me, this is the one with perception. The Queen of Swords is giving me someone that is very smart and that is very good with social media or with communication and messages. And usually maybe this is the person that actually ends up getting the role because through communication, or this is someone that knows people. A Queen of Swords is very influential, is also very social. The keyword is says perceptive. So there's something about this perceptive Queen of Swords sort of seeing the possibility that this person is not going to take it, so I will take it because this person declined, so I'm waiting for my moment. I will take it. I will take it. I will take it. And why do I feel like um mm, the Queen of Swords is more like a female. Like they get selective with females more than males. This Queen of Swords is giving me, there's someone that is getting all the roles. And they get it through connections. They don't get it because they're good. I don't know. The Queen of Swords is giving me someone that at the end gets with gets with the scripts that you're like, oh, but that was for someone else, and she took the option. Anyways, if this is like a Queen of Swords, they are going to get, people are going to get like, if this is someone that appears all the time, maybe there's something about people thinking like, oh, this actress always gets the same roles, or this actress always gets the roles. Is there no other actress? But it's very funny. It's very funny that she appeared. I don't know if it made sense, guys. I hope it made sense. I hope it made sense. Sorry. It's just that it's a very complex subject. Okay, guys, I'm going to continue with the next question. That is, does SM have a plan to launch a Western girl group? Just like, you know, they did debut Dear Alice, that is this Western boy group. So the question was if SM has plans to also launch a girl group in the near future. So let's see. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They are planning on launching a Western girl group. I'm so hot. On this side, I get the heater. Ace of Pentacles, we have the Star, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So it's already on the making, could it be? And take a leap, the Fool. So yeah, they are thinking. There's a lot of money also in here. Could it be that they have like already signed already and you know, someone influential, or maybe a trainee, a female trainee, someone that is very that this person has a fandom of her own? Could this person be Korean American, something like this? But this person has a fandom of her own. So I wonder if this is like an influencer, or this is like a singer, but they are thinking about, they already have it, I think. A Western girl group in the near future, if they're planning to launch. Yeah, they really want to take, they want to take a leap with this. And there's a lot of potential of this going well. The money there is, the star quality there is, there's this girl that I'm like, this girl is known. So maybe people will start following because of her. Or could it be a manager? Could it be like, not a manager, but could it be like a famous idol promoting this girl group, or being like the CEO of this girl group? But it's going to do very well. It's going to do very well. Yeah, for them it's like they want to start over, or they want to not start over. They want to start, you know, start with something new. So this Western girl group is like maybe the beginning of an aspect in the company, or something that they wanted to do in the company that they haven't done before, or that maybe they sort of wanted, or were planning, but it didn't go very well, or they didn't finish it. So with the Fool, it's like we are starting all over. We are starting from scratch, but there's money in there. and there's popularity. So I think that it's going to do very well, and people are going to talk about it because of this person. There's a very influential member in there. Okay. Wavy relationship with the SM. Let's see. Wavy, SM. When is SM? When is Wavy ending their contract with SM? Because they are so stuck, they don't know what to do with Wavy. They don't know what to do with Wavy at this point. They somehow are like, they think they got it, but they are very lost when it comes to Wavy. Okay, from Wavy's perspective about the SM, we have the Three of Wands and we have the Eight of Swords. And from SM perspective about Wavy, we have the Strength card and we have the Moon. And then, you know, the relationship, we have, you know, the Six of Swords, that is a transition. So probably, you know, there's going to be an advance. There's going to be a slight change in this relationship. They probably they're going to send the guys. I think that the only thing that they do well is to maybe promote the guys to, you know, maybe do activities overseas. And I think that this is how they're going to try to, you know, move a bit, because creativity when it comes to creation, sorry, I got stuck in that word. They don't know what is next for Wavy. They're like, what do we should wait? You know, they always say this, like, we should wait for Wavy, you know, wait. Let's not give them this now. Let's wait for a comeback. Let's wait a few months, you know, or maybe next year, something like this. They keep postponing. They keep Wavy for the last. And in the case of Wavy about SM, they know this because they have the Three of Wands, you know, and the Eight of Swords. So there's this feeling of like, you know, I have, we have, you know, we want to keep advancing. We want to do more. We want to, you know, go overseas. We want to create more comebacks. We want to do more. We want to keep advancing. They are so passionate and they are so, you know, so excited for new things to come. They are like, you know, we still have the passion. We still have the desire to keep advancing. But the Eight of Swords is like, you guys never give us something. So we are all the time like looking forward to, okay, what is new for us? Okay, what is the next chapter for us? Okay, what is, you know, they're always looking at the future, like, okay, what is going to be new for us, for Wavy, you know, and the Eight of Swords is like you always, and also probably the reasons or the feedback that they are given, they make them more and more confused because they don't understand like why these people keep postponing them. They are like, you know, we have the desire, we have the fire, we have the initiative, we really want to promote more, we are ready with our foot out, like we really want to go, let us, you know, do something. And with the Eight of Swords, there's this feeling of like, no, they confuse us. But you know, with the Strength and the Moon card, yeah, there's from SM perspective, they don't know what to do with. with 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 Wavy. I don't know why I was like I had to look for their name even because I was like, oh, who? Yeah, they're in the dark about. They're so prideful. It's just that there's something about SM that SM is never going to admit that they don't have anything. They're like, we are running out of ideas. It's just that they are, they're like, no, guys, we have to be patient. The moment is not now, but the reality is that I don't know, it's a very odd relationship that they have with Wavy. I don't know if they are could it be that they are a bit like distrustful of Wavy? Could it be that they are like, could they be distrustful of Wavy? Like, they could, let's put them to wait because they could betray us. So, but they are very suspicious people also. It's just that, the strength card is giving me control. They want to control their potential. And since the guys are so passionate, or maybe they are so independent, and they are people that you don't have to boss around and tell them, okay, you need to go here and do this. They will just go because they are that experience, and also they are that, passionate, and they are very independent. They know what to do. They know how to manage themselves. So there's something about them feeling, maybe their fear is that they could lose the grasp or the dominion over Wavy, so they feel a bit like, offended, like not offended. I don't want to say offended, but they feel like, oh no, they can make us look bad. We cannot leave them, like, go to these events alone. What if they mess up? What if they say something wrong? And the guys will not say something wrong. It's just that, you know, uh, they don't have much to work with if you are just, sort of like not giving them much to do. But they fear their potential. I think that they fear that the guys would like flip on them, or I don't know, but they want to keep them under control, under their paw. I don't know. But yeah, the Six of Swords transition, this can change, this awkward. They can, maybe in the near future, they can advance, and give the guys something. Or maybe, give them something, give them permission to travel. I don't know why they're like, guys, go on vacation or something like this. Go, if you want to go overseas, go. But they are so on the clouds about like, okay, with their 10-year contracts. Oh, 10-year contracts? 10 years? Yeah, I don't know. It's just that this is what I wanted to say, Charlino. I think that they are, SM is a suspicious one. And with the strength card is giving me like superiority complex. It's like you wanting to have control over them, instead of giving them a straight answer, you are like, oh, I didn't see you there. Oh, I thought that you were gone. It's like if they disappear from their side, because I don't know why I feel like maybe Wavy is like very, not all of them, but there's some members that are very insistent, and they maybe are knocking on their doors, and they're like, hello, do you have news for us or something like this? And they don't like that a group is so outspoken, or is so, like initiators, like the ones that instead of you going to get them, I mean, like, you're having a comeback, come with me. They are like the first one that appear, at your door, and they're like, we are ready. When are we going to start training? Hmm. Okay, last question. Will Wavy see a rise in their success in China? Will Wavy see a rise in their success in China? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, they will be more, I don't know if success is the word. I think that they will feel stronger in China. I don't know if success, but they will be more relevant and stronger and more like they will finally be able to show their potential and their passion and what they're good at, and they will be exposed. So there's something about them. Yeah, give me attention. Like they have the King of Wands, so it's like yeah, we start with the Fool, that is like a new beginning. The Three of Wands, again, that is the Three of Wands that they got with the SM, the King of Wands, and we have the Hangman, that is a surrender. So I think that yeah, um, they will get more notoriety. They will get better treatment, or they will get more opportunities, or they will get like I said, they will be on the spotlight. The King of Wands is like you will be very active. You will be very active, and you will be treated like a king. Very dominating, very energetic, and it's like a new beginning for them with the Fool. It's like a new beginning where they can finally aspire for something bigger, or for something more important, or to be more active, to do more, to expand themselves. The King of Wands is giving you, this ability to show your charms, this ability to show, to even dominate the stage, or dominate, with your presence, with your magnetism. They are very, very mainly group. They are very dominating when they are performing, or they are very sensual, and people just love this, boss energy that they have. But at the end, we have the Hangman, that is a surrender. So probably, yeah, they can enjoy of this, of being seen actually, and maybe even being treated with much more respect, and being treated as people that are important. That the King of Wands is someone that has experience, is someone that has done the work, is someone that is so proud of their legacy, someone that is very strong and also very wise. They see Wavy as not just ambitious, that they are an ambitious group, but also that they are so courageous. They see that Wavy is so courageous, that they are, for doing what they're doing, or maybe working where they're working, they are like, the guys are, relentless. They are like a beast with desire, passion, drive, because the amount of energy and passion that they put to keep being in this industry is amazing. And in China, they are being seen like this, like this King of Wands, this very like, it's like they can show themselves, they can be spontaneous, they can be proud of who they are. They, like I said, they can take charge also, maybe in China, maybe make some decisions, or being given the room or the place to make decisions, and to be the protagonist. That maybe, in Korea they cannot. But the Hangman at the last is like, there's always going to be some interruptions, maybe coming from the company, some interruptions or some delays or something like, no, you guys have to come back, or you guys are not going to go there, or you're not doing this, or you're not going to get paid for this. So, the Hangman is also like, at the end, there's going to be a bit of uncomfortableness, not a sense of freedom or liberty. It's not going to be like, oh, you're going there and you're forgetting, about your responsibilities and your attachment to SM. No, SM or whoever. I know there's another label as well, but it's like, yeah. But well, guys, this was the last question that I have. Um, um, Sorry that I'm rushing. It's just that I have to go and cook. So because I have to go see my aunt, and I have to take take the food over to her house because it's my god's in my god's mother birthday. But yeah, we have like a family get together, and I believe she was calling me, but I was like, I will not take the call now. I'm busy. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the readings, and thank you so much, guys. And if you did, please don't forget to give a like to the channel, to give a like to the live stream actually, not the channel. But if you want to support the channel, then this appreciate it as well. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Usually Sundays are very slow, but yeah, thanks to these questions, I think that we are starting to, become like much more like our perceptions, our minds, everything becomes much more sharp when I have material to work on to pull the cards for interesting subjects, instead of the same, the same narrative, like, oh, I feel sorry, oh, I wonder about this person, oh, I wonder if this idol is okay. It's like, let's make it more interesting and fun, guys, and interactive. So thank you so much, guys, for all the questions. And the Sundays are going to be like this. So if you have any specific question, please write it down and have it saved. And then when I create the community post, you can put it in there, okay? And even if you don't have like the whole formulated question, then we can arrange it and see it, see how we can fit this for a tarot reading, okay? Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you. Bye.